Hey guys, it's Lily
and Jade. Today we're making adopts. You've probably heard of them, maybe, possibly.
If you're not familiar, adopts are basically character designs made by an artist that they sell to other people for them to use and enjoy. Adoptable characters are something that me and Jade have always been intrigued by, but we've never really thrown our hats into the ring, so to speak. So in this video, we'll be trying it out, making our own designs, and trying to understand the rules of this very interesting section of the art world.
And maybe this will help one of you if you would like to also make adopts. Now let's go to the orphanage.
Okay, for the first group of adoptable characters, we decided to do a batch of 6 different chibis, all under the same theme. And for my theme, I chose to make clowns.
Ew.
Jade is a clown hater, but guys, I love clowns. I really love them. I've loved them my whole life. That's not really true. They're not scary. They're beautiful and lovable and misunderstood. Anyway, so my first clown girl was this little flower-themed clown. She is very yellow and frilly and flowery and cutesy and all that kind of stuff. For these drawings, we decided to do the symmetry tool. Shout out to the symmetry tool. I like it a lot. It just makes it easier to produce a lot of designs, and then you can use the same base so they all look nice together. And as you might have noticed in the speed paint, I kind of was struggling with the style I wanted to go for because I originally tried to do sort of a very clean line art and then smooth airbrushy colors, but it wasn't speaking to me, so I had to go back to my true love, pencil. And I did pencil line art and then colored like normal. I also tried a style with drawing the eyes that I've literally never done before, so I don't know what came over me. It kind of looks like how Jade draws eyes, but I'm a classic thief of everything Jade has ever drawn. If you see something that I drew and you think it's cool, it's probably because I stole it from Jade.
So for my theme, I did dog girls, and I chose 6 different random breeds to do, and the first one is a golden retriever girl. I made her kind of ocean inspired and beach themed because golden retrievers tend to really like the water, and they were originally bred to retrieve waterfowl, which is like ducks and other water creatures. So her fashion is kind of cutesy, coquette, boho vibes. So she's wearing some little sandals and her clothes are very blue. And I like to imagine that she has a swimsuit on underneath. And she also has a little bandana around her head with starfishes on it.
For my next clown design, I decided to do an apple theme because I really like apples as a visual motif. I think they're really cute. Jade's also a big fan. So for this clown girl, I gave her a little apple head design. Guys, apple head. One time I had sleep paralysis and I saw Gerard Way in my hallway, but his head was an apple. So think about that. Anyway, for the actual design, I gave her kind of a farm girl vibe with the overalls that I tried to do like a flared pant leg on them because I saw that a lot in different clown costumes, so I thought that would be cute. They have little embroidered patches on them, like an apple and a square and then a little star. And for her makeup on her cheeks, I did these little designs that are supposed to be reminiscent of apple seeds. And then her hair, with her bangs and her little pigtails, are supposed to look similar to apple slices. So I did them yellow, and then they have each a little red stripe going down the side. I think I maybe have seen that somewhere as a design, but I thought it would be fitting for her.
Guys, she's my favorite. I love her so much.
She's Jade's favorite. If you want to buy her, you'll be fighting off Jade to the death. Whoa, scared.
For my next dog girl, I chose a Bassad Hound. Bassad Hounds were bred to sniff out ground-dwelling critters, mostly bunnies, sadly. Guys,
they were killing Jade.
No. So later you will see that she has a little satchel bag, and I gave her a little bunny keychain. Her fashion is kind of country 2000s America colors.
Dude, the America colors kind of go hard, but it doesn't have to be America. It could be like France, Russia.
Yeah, I'd like to not think it's America. And I gave her, of course, like more droopy sad eyes because Bassad Hounds are known for their very sad eyes. As well as I gave her freckles on her nose because a lot of Bassad Hounds have freckled noses.
This one's my favorite. She's so precious. I put our favorites next to each other so they can hold hands and frolic in clown dog land.
Oh my gosh.
So next up, I decided to do a mime character, which mimes are technically not clowns, but I feel like they kind of fall under the same umbrella, so to speak. And I really like mimes. Come on, I love mimes. I was a mime for Halloween when I was 11 years old.
I remember.
We didn't know each other.
What?
Anyway, so for her design, I tried to make it a little more unique than just like the classic mime that you see all over the place. A dime a dozen. Yeah. And her clothing ended up being my favorite clothing design out of all the chibis that I made, because I gave her like a little sailor collar paired with her black and white shirt, and then these weird thigh highs that turn into spats over her shoes. I love
them.
Those are like fire. I wish I could like wear them. Can you buy those? She's a red beret and mime makeup. She is the only one who doesn't have a clown nose, which might be sacrilegious, but I feel like mimes don't have the round nose. So she's a little different. Also, I haven't mentioned this yet, but all of these clown girls have like elf ears. I don't know why I decided to do that, but I thought it would just be kind of cute. Who doesn't want a little clown elf creature?
So the next dog I chose was a Dalmatian. Fun fact about Dalmatians is that they often were used as carriage dogs, so they ran beside horses that pulled carriages, and I'm guessing, but I'm not completely sure, but I think they became like the staple for a firehouse dog because they probably ran next to the carriages, because fire trucks used to be carriages back in the day. Anyway, I was struggling with her color scheme because I didn't want to just do black and white. So I was kind of thinking of Lisa Frank and her like colorful Dalmatians that I recall her doing. So I gave her beads at the end of her braids. And originally the beads were black to be like her spots, but I changed them to be more colorful because I wanted to add more color. I was struggling with what to put on her shirt because I wanted to put something graphic on her shirt, and I ended up putting like an apple, a pear, and an orange, which is so random, but now I'm regretting it because I wish I put a little horsey on her shirt because I thought that would be really cute, but it's a lost cause. If anyone adopts her, we go put a horse on her shirt.
The next clown I did was ice cream themed. I really like doing food themed characters. I don't know what it is, but I just like really like it. So I did like a little ice cream sundae themed clown girl. So she's just supposed to be like a sweet darling lady. I tried to incorporate a lot of the ice cream elements into her design. So she has sprinkles on her face and in her hair, and then she has chocolate syrup as a part of her dress, as well as on her head. She also has an ice cream cone on her head. You scoop her up and eat her like a little vanilla ice cream. Her clothing design kind of ended up reminded me of like 1950s and 1960s diner uniforms, which is an aesthetic that I really love, and I'm always drawing girlies like that. I wasn't super happy with her design, but I think she turned out cute in the end. I like how she has one eye obscured. I think she's the only one that I did that for, and I gave her a little bit of a little goopier eye shape, sort of like a little melty ice cream.
The next doggy is a German Shepherd. German Shepherds were initially bred to herd sheeps and cattle, and then became more a part of the workforce, such as police dogs and service dogs. That doesn't really have to do with her design, but whatever. I was originally going to give her a little sheep keychain, but then I scrapped it because I'm a suck.
Oh my gosh.
And her fashion is very Y2 slay, streetwear, I would say. She's probably the most grungiest, emo looking one out of all of them.
Okay, so next up, I decided to do a little teddy bear clown. I've been on a real teddy bear kick lately. Like, I'm obsessed with little teddy bear guys. So for her design, I wanted her to feel kind of like a performer because I was thinking of bears in the circus that like ride a bicycle or like balance on a big ball or something like that. So I gave her like a leotard and a hula hoop that she might do a little trick with. Thought that was cute. I also just randomly gave her a crown because it felt right. And it got me thinking, is there a bear character who wears a crown? Because it was reminding me of something, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I know it's not Freddy Fazbear.
No.
He wears a top hat, but is there a bear who wears a crown? Let me know. Her design actually ended up being my personal favorite out of the whole roster. I might like the Mime's clothing design a little more, but I think just as a whole, as a character, I like the teddy bear girl the best. I really like the color palette that I ended up doing. Originally, I was envisioning maybe more primary colors, but I ended up going with more limited choice of just brown, blue, and yellow, which I think always slays as a palette. That's another classic Jade move that I stole.
Next dog girl is a Sheltie, or Shetland sheepdog. They were bred to herd sheep, as in their namesake. I'm very biased to this one because I grew up with Shelties, Willow, and Senna, but I ended up giving her my favorite type of fashion sense, which is kind of a cottagecore, Maury K style, and I gave her kind of a quilted skirt with little sheeps on it. She also has three-toned hair, which I really like. The white part kind of represents how they usually have diamonds on their foreheads. I love her! Anyway.
I love her hair. When I saw her, I was like, yes, sometimes Jade does something and it's just like so... Okay, every time Jade has drawn anything, it's always so genius and so scrumptious.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
So, the last clown character that I created was a little sad Jester Girl. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a sad Jester because they're typically happy-go-lucky, crazy guys, but she's not that way. She's emo. The idea for her was very much inspired by this creepy little music box that I have that I use, of course, to store my rings as well as my teeth that I have. You know, I got like one of Jade's teeth in there in case I gotta clone her, cast a spell or something like that. You gotta be prepared. And when I was designing her, I was a little scared because I thought she was looking kind of like Pomni from Amazing Digital Circus. But I do think that the visual similarity is there because they're both jesters, so there's only so much you could do. To differentiate her, I made sure that she would be very monochromatic with very heavy emphasis on black and whites with just a little splash of color in her eyes. As you will see, I ended up making them purple, as was Jade's suggestion. I did think about making her hair split half and half, black and white, to mirror the colors in her hat, but I thought that she might look like Rambu from Dream Recipe, so I wanted to stay away from that. And I ended up giving her bloomers. Originally in the sketch you might have seen that she just had leggings, but I thought since her hat is so substantial that I would add some puffy little bloomers to enhance the silhouette of her bottom half.
So for my final doggy girl, I chose to do a Greyhound. Initially, you might think I might have themed her like running, fast, speed machine, but I wanted to take a different route. Greyhounds are actually date back to Egypt, so I made her Egyptian. They're often illustrated in the artwork from Egypt, as well as they're often found in tombs with royalty, as they were seen as very high-ranking dogs, as a lot of royalty through history often owns them.
Question.
Oh my god.
Was Anubis a greyhound?
Girl, no.
Okay.
Anubis is often mistaken for a greyhound, but they actually have a jackal head, not a greyhound head, even though greyhounds from that time had pointy ears and curly tails, but now they have floppy ears and straight tails. And the fashion style that I chose for her was whimsy goth. I'm not sure why, I just it spoke to me. So I gave her a lot of moon motifs as well as little sparkles.
Okay, so here's the final lineup of all of my 6 chibis. As for pricing info, me and Jade are deciding to charge $25 per chibi character as a flat rate, being there wouldn't be bidding available on this set in particular. And then as an added note, if you were interested in using them for commercial purposes, there would be an extra fee of an additional $25.
And you can let us know in the comments if that seems too much for you or you think it should be more. I don't know, we're new at this, guys. So here's my doggy girl lineup. They're okay, they're fine, they're good. I don't know, man.
I mean, pricing on Jade's is exactly the same as mine. Can you imagine if Jade was $100 a pop?
Whoa.
No, they're exactly the same. $25 per character with the $25 fee for commercial use.
Thank you.
Now let's get on to the full body characters. Okay, so the other avenue that we wanted to try was doing full body designs. So we ended up designing 2 different characters with the designs showing both the front and the back. Once again, we wanted to go with a theme for our characters to connect them together, and me and Jade were both feeling fantasy vibes. That was the move. So what I chose to do was tiefling characters, which is something I've never really dabbled in before, but I thought it could be kind of cool. So the first tiefling character is Blue. Her design ended up feeling almost like a magician to me, which something that I was running into a lot when doing these characters was struggling against making up my own stories or narrative ideas, because it's they're not going to be mine, they're going to go out into the ether, but I'm what if they were kissing each other? No.
Oh my god.
No. So for her fashion, I wanted to do a bit of a spin on maybe Victorian, almost piratey in a sense. It reminds me a lot of Black Butler, which I love the fashion in the Black Butler series, so that's no surprise. And for her color palette, she's very limited in just blues and grays, but she has a little bit of red in her twinkling eyes.
So for my fantasy theme, I went with elves. I love elves. Always drawing elves. I'm just what if this person had pointy ears and they were an elf? Anyway, this elf is kind of an alchemist, wizard, maybe. And they have a little book in their clutches that probably has spells in it or something. I wanted to make them gender ambiguous just for fun. I gave them this very long ponytail. They have a little scarf, which I thought was cute, and I made it into a bow. They're also wearing a poncho because I keep thinking about ponchos and I really want a poncho for some reason. They have a satchel around their waist with some type of bottle with some type of ooze. Something in it. I also gave them kind of a monocle, a half glasses moment. I don't know, I was just feeling glasses, but then I was what if it was half glasses for fun? I gave them a very lavender and navy color palette as well as a little bit of yellow.
So my second tiefling design was a little red tiefling to match the blue one. For her, I wanted her to be a little softer and more feminine. I ended up giving her ram style horns instead of the demon style like I did before. I don't know, I just think that the shape language feels a little softer and more friendly than the pointy, sticky up devil horns. And I really struggled making her dress. I was really inspired by medieval fashion, but I don't know, it took me a while to get a design that I liked. And I ended up going with this sort of teal green color because I thought it would go well with her red and pink hair and skin. But then I was she's giving Fluttershy. She kind of looks Fluttershy, which is no problem. I got no qualms with Fluttershy, bro. And for this particular design, she has very big hair. So for the reverse drawing, I ended up choosing to show the back of her dress as if her hair was see-through, because I thought it would be kind of a cop-out to just have that big chunk of hair completely obscuring that part of her design. And I ended up making a little cross-stitch, almost corset-style section of her dress, which I imagine is sectioning off where her tail protrudes from. So that was fun.
So for the final design of the video, I drew this mage elf girl, and I wanted to make her cutesy, giving her a little puffy skirt, as well as little bows on her boots, and a lacy top. And she has two long braid-ish hair strands. And so I did the same thing that Lily did, having two different versions, one where you can see her back and one where her hair is in front of it. I really like the color palette I ended up choosing for her, which is like a brown, pink, and this coral color for her hair. It just like speaks to me. Also, there's like a little glowing orb in the center of her staff.
So these are my final full body designs together. I think they turned out really cute. I like how they look together. I'm always a sucker for a red and blue duo. So for the payment information on these, we were interested in maybe doing bidding on these full bodies just because it might be easier to start with just the two designs. So what we were looking to do would be a starting bid of $55 with then a minimum increase of $2. So that's the lowest amount you can increase your bid by. And then typically adopts will have a automatic buy option, which means you can just pay up front, you don't have to bid. So for these, we would do $155. Once again, this is all based off of research, so let us know your thoughts. Too low, too high, just right? Goldilocks. Goldilocks?
So here's mine together. We've got lavender elf and coral elf. I think they look cute together, and I'm not picturing them kissing each other.
Who said that?
I don't know. So that's all the designs.
These are really fun to make. I think it was a cool experience trying something new, and I'm happy with the designs we created. Let us know what you guys think about the pricing, about the formatting. We are totally open to feedback on however you feel about the art and how we're going about selling it.
Remember, this is our first time doing this.
Be kind!
Also, let us know if you'd like to see more adopts from us in the future, as well as themes you would be interested in.
And if you are interested in purchasing any of these designs, feel free to head over to either of our accounts where you will see posts including them that will also have the pricing and the rules written out for you to reference. There's no pressure. You are under no obligation to buy any of these. This was all for fun, kind of just an experiment. But if you like any of them, if they strike your fancy, then head over to our accounts. Thank you. That's all from us.
Good night.